Hello, everybody, and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are live.
Yes, we are.
Amazing. I just want to welcome you all to our live session today, and we'll be having another amazing conversation today. And please let us know where you are joining in from. Would love to know where you all are joining in from because it's amazing to have you all. Before we dive right into the conversation, we would want to introduce ourselves. And I want to say, my name is Amara.
And my name is Gospel.
Wow, it's amazing to have you all today. Now we'll be having a conversation. I'm sure you guys must have seen the banner that we put up just before our faces came live, and that is top priorities that you need to bear in mind for 2023.
Yeah, it's really important that, as we've approached a new year, we're now in a new year. It's important that you set your priorities right because sometimes people come up with different resolutions. Once we step into the new year, you've had a plan, this is what I'm going to do. And sometimes people have 1,001 things they want to do. And at the end of the year, you see that you've not really done much. One of the reasons is that your priorities were not set right from the start. And I don't want you to get to that point where this is the end of the year and you're regretting, did I really do what I'm supposed to do? Did I achieve much this year? And if you have specific areas that you have set out to focus on and you do quite well in that area, you have a sense of satisfaction at the end of the year.
Absolutely. So we just want to talk about and highlight some of the things that you mustn't toy with, you mustn't joke with in 2023. And I would start by talking about the first thing, and that is your faith.
Mm-hmm.
Your faith, your belief is really important because that is like the bedrock upon which every other thing stands.
So obviously, you might want to think about what is your goals with respect to your spirituality, with respect to finding that connection with God, because we believe in God and we trust that you also believe in God. So finding that connection with Him, deepening your relationship with Him, because obviously life is not all about making money, getting married, enjoying life as it is. We know that there is deeper meaning to life. And you can't find meaning if you don't have a deep walk with God, if you don't have a strong relationship with God. As a family, this is one area you need to focus on. Husband and wife, with your family members, thinking about your set goals with respect to your faith.
And it is also important that you carry each other along. Communicate this. It is also very important that you think about, the values that we have as a family. Does it stem from our belief? Does it stem from the connection that we have with God? Because whatever it is that you're doing has to be at the top of it, at the top of the list. Because a lot of times we put it to the bottom of the pile. But I think that every decision needs to stem from it. And it is important that if you haven't deepened your work with God in the year before, it is paramount. It is important that you put that at the top of your priority. Deepening your work with God will save you a lot of hassle going forward.
Definitely. It might sound theoretical. Someone is saying, what's the practical thing around this? Because you're saying deepening your work with God. I think there are tangible markers, the ways you can measure, you can actually evaluate your work with God at the end of the year. One of the practical things you have to do is that you have to set goals with respect to studying your Bible.
Absolutely.
As a Christian. You need to go deeper because your work with God will be dependent on the knowledge of God. And that would also influence your prayer life. So many people these days are praying 40 days prayer, 30 days praying and fasting and all of those. I don't have any issues with those. But my point is, you might join in the bandwagon, but you don't have a personal walk with God with respect to your prayer life. It's not about coming with needs, coming with what you want God to do for you. It's good to ask God to do things for you, But in this instance, it's about knowing who God is and understanding that your prayer work is more of a communication with God because you
Absolutely.
want to know Him for
For
who
who
He
he is.
is
Yeah.
and to understand who you are as well. Because the Word of God and your relationship with God will help you have a clear reflection of who God has called you to be.
Absolutely. And I just want to add to that that a lot of issues and challenges that we have in relationship is down to the fact that a lot of us haven't discovered ourselves,
Mm.
and a lot of us do not see ourselves the way God sees us.
Mm.
And we try to project that in our relationship.
Mm.
If we understand, that God is selfless, if we understand, the way God loves,
Mm.
that would definitely, and we have that encounter personally, we will bring that into our relationship.
Mm.
Would love our spouse unconditionally, would love our children unconditionally, and not based on what they have done or what
Mm.
they haven't done. If we also understand, the value of our self-worth, we would not be looking to our spouse or the people around us to, validate who we are, because we are comfortable in who God has made us to be, and we understand that God has made us with a unique purpose, and that purpose will be fulfilled through our lives. And we find that a lot of selfishness, a lot of self-centeredness, and some of the things that kind of find expression sometimes in our relationship will be minimized if we have a deeper walk with God and the Holy Spirit.
Definitely. Looking at what you just said, which is key, it's about building your principles that influence your relationship based on your number one priority. You see, that number one priority is really, really important because it's going to affect every other area of your life. Maybe now, before now, you've taken it for granted. Maybe before now, you've taken it for granted, but I just want you to know that this is one thing you need to take seriously this year, you know, because once you carry everyone as a husband, I need to carry everyone along in my family, show leadership in that context. So once you do that, and everyone is united in spirit, united, you're focused on one thing. You have
Yeah.
the same faith, the same belief, you know, then your life becomes easier. As believers, we understand that when two people come together,
Absolutely.
it's a powerful force.
Yeah.
Husband and wife coming together and uniting in prayer. There is nothing impossible for you because once you pray together, you
Hmm.
have that oneness,
Yeah.
spiritual connection,
Mm.
spiritual compatibility, and you approach it from the point of prayer and all of those.
Yeah.
This 2023 will be an amazing year for you.
Yeah. I see you guys smashing your goals
Definitely.
and scaling whatever obstacle
Mm.
that comes your way is insurmountable.
Hmm.
And you feel is insurmountable with God, you can go through that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And adding to that, I know we wanted to move to the next point, but
Yeah.
adding to this, 2003 is not going to be 2023,
Three.
sorry,
Yeah.
is not going to be all that rosy. There will be storms along the way.
Absolutely.
There will be issues that could
Challenging.
challenge the relationship you have built, challenge your life, challenge your faith.
Hmm.
But you see, setting that priority right is important because you gain resilience, spiritual resilience to overcome whatever life will throw at you. And we know that strong couples, united couples, would always win, no matter what life throws at them.
Absolutely.
Now, let's look at the next point, which is setting your priority right in terms of your family and your friends. Family here, we're looking at people who are close to you, your nuclear family first. You might want to, you're thinking about
Hmm.
setting goals with respect to your career. You spend more time, smashing your career goals and all of that.
Yeah.
Are
Which is
you,
important.
which is important.
Yeah.
In fact, we're going to talk about that later on. But then, how much time are you setting out for your family?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about spending time because you're physically present,
Yeah.
or spending quality time with them where you stay together, you have deep communication with your spouse because you know that they are your number two priority. Every other thing is not as important as your family.
Absolutely.
If you're making money, if you're working, is to enhance the quality of their life. But if you don't spend time to give them who you are,
Yeah.
because I'm saying that you can give people gifts, you can give people money,
What you have.
you can give your family members what you have,
Mm.
but they need you as a person first before what you have.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if you
Yeah, go on.
I think that being present, like you said, it's
Mm.
not just you being there
Mm.
physically, but being involved, wanting to know what's happening, because I've seen situations where couples have been together
Mm.
and they are constantly present, but they are not connected.
Mm.
So when we talk about spending time with your family, it's going over and beyond and finding out, how are you doing, what's your day like, just be interested in what they are interested in, and just be present. um your spouse is the only person that you've got and is your number one fan, right? So yes, I always say it's both of you against the world, and I mean that, like both of you and God against the world. And it is important that you know where they are in terms of their well-being, whether it's mentally, whether it's spiritually, emotionally. If they're struggling, it is important that you are aware, and not just you being there in person, right? Get to be, find out what their goals are, find out what they want to do next, in their career and every other thing. And you'll be surprised that a lot of people do not quite know their spouse. They feel they do, but they don't even know them because they're so focused on this is what I want to achieve as a person, but you're not sure what they want to achieve. And I think it is important that you just really rein in this year, focus and find out, who are those in my circle, my spouse, my friends, my family. How much time do I devote? How much time do I invest in them? Because I say that, that's one of the biggest thing that can happen to someone is to be rich in network. Not just in your, or what's that phrase again? Your net worth is determined by your network or something like that. I can't remember how it is said, but it is important that you enrich the quality of your circle.
So what you're saying in essence is we have to be intentional about being involved in the lives of people that we care about.
Absolutely.
Those people that we are connected to, starting from our immediate family members, we need to be involved in their life, know what is going on there, what are their challenges, what are their aspirations, what are their goals, and think about how we can make meaningful contribution to bettering or fostering their life, which is key, and be intentional about it, because 2023 is a key year. If you're not here, how would people remember you? Not necessarily because you occupied the space, but they will remember you because you touched their lives. And the only way you can touch their life is by being involved in their lives. If you can, support them as much as you can.
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll move on and look at the third point of what excuse me. So we'll look at the third point of what we want to highlight as a top priority in your relationship for 2023.
And that third point is you have to set your priority right around your finance. Money is important.
Yeah.
We're not saying it's not important. Money is key.
Absolutely.
You need to set your priority right with your finance, because most of the people, or most of the problems people have in their relationship is as a result of financial issues.
Money wahala.
Issues around paying bills, issues around budgeting, issues about who spent what and who is supposed to spend what, issues about who manages the money. Yes, so many things around finance. And some people make a lot of money, but they don't, manage it effectively.
Absolutely.
So one of the things you're going to do in 2023 is to set your priority right with respect to how you manage your finances. Not just how you manage it, your income. If your income is not enough to support your lifestyle or the lifestyle you intend to have, you must think about, how do I upskill myself? How do I position myself to make more money? How do I, do more than I have done before? What are my what are my goals, financial goals, and how do I meet it?
Yeah.
The distance between your financial goal, or what you dream to have as your in your financial value or network, is the ability or the solutions you're providing.
Yeah, and I want to say that, oneness in finance is really important. And this is, like you said before, one of the reasons why we have issues in relationship where there is no unified focus or purpose as it has to do with finance. And this is something that in 2023 you need to have a sit down conversation with your spouse and find out, what are you doing with the resources that you have. I know that it's a difficult conversation and a very sticky situation for a lot of couples, but it's important that you do this because, when the Bible talks about one shall chase 1,000 and two shall chase 10,000, it can also apply in terms of your finances. You could be doing things all by yourself and not knowing that, look, we can actually move into that investment, but you haven't explored that yet because you don't have a unified front as it has to do with your finances. You cannot be doing whatever it is you want with your money and the other person doing whatever they want with their money. It will be difficult to achieve your goals. So one of the things that you have to have a sit down conversation and try to address is, how are we managing our finances? Are we bleeding money? Are we bleeding, resource? Are we bleeding, whatever it is? They talk about time. Time is money. Time is money. The question is, what are you doing with your time? A lot of people say, oh, I don't have money. But the question is, what are you doing with the time that you have in order for you to get some money? So maybe you need to look at, your schedule, your day-to-day activities. What have you been doing? Do you need to upskill yourself? And maybe that could be an opportunity for you to be able to make more money. Have you been procrastinating on a project or an initiative that you've been thinking about to launch that initiative? And you've been fidgeting because you were kind of second guessing yourself, you have a lot of self doubt. Now is the time to take that bold move. Now is the time to take that step and sort of say, you know what, in 2023, I am going to hold myself accountable, and we are going to hold ourselves accountable as it has to do with our finances.
Very important point you've made. Another thing I want to add to that is you have to engage in the process of becoming financially intelligent. One of the things people struggle with is when they have money, they don't know what to do with it.
Absolutely.
And you need financial intelligence to be able to deal with that. You need to also cut down on your expenses. You don't have to owe anybody this year. Even if you do, have a plan on how you're going to offset your debt. It's going to help you because even when money increases, there is always this Parkinson's law that says that expenses will always exceed your income. And for you to break even, for you to save, for you to be comfortable financially, you must find a way to break that Parkinson's law. Don't expect or don't wait until your expense or comes higher than your income.
Yes.
Find a way to have more income that exceeds your expenses.
Yeah.
And when your income rises, don't increase your expenses.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. And please, you made a fair point around financial intelligence. If you don't know anything about budgeting, there's quite a lot that you can learn out there, right? Take a course. If you don't know anything about spreadsheets, Excel, and all of that, take out your time and hold yourself accountable. This year, I would need to know more. Investing opportunities, stock, gold, whatever it is, like there are different options out there, real estate, so many other options. Like, what does it take for me to get into there, right? It's not enough for you to say, look, I have money saved up and I'm going to invest. Some people have done that and they've lost the money that they've saved up. So it is important that you go out there and seek out that knowledge, train yourself, know more about the area before you invest.
Okay, the last thing I want to say is set your priority right with respect to fitness. Fitness is key because you might have all the money, but if you're not fit enough to enjoy it, it becomes a problem.
Absolutely.
You have a loving spouse, you need to be alive, you need to be healthy to enjoy your relationship with them. Even your walk with God cannot happen on this side of eternity if you're not fit, if you're not living. And what's the point of living if you're not living healthy? So I'll say to you, one of the things you need to do this year is to engage in staying fit. Staying fit may require you engaging in physical exercise. Staying fit may involve you changing your behavior and your lifestyle. Um, Alcohol consumption, if that's part of your life, you need to have a rethink. Have a rethink around your diet. What kind of food do you eat? Your body is like a vehicle. It's like a car. You need to maintain it.
Absolutely.
You don't put water as fuel.
Absolutely.
You need to put the right things in your system.
Even with the fuel, different cars run on different types of fuel.
Exactly.
Or diesel. So it is important that you listen, try to understand your body. You know, it is pay attention to your body. You know, something you said, you know, whatever it is we have as goals, we cannot achieve that if our body is not in the right state. So it is important that you pay attention to your body, know what it is that you feed your body that is poisonous, and that the fact that it is good, that is food, and that other people eat it, doesn't mean that your body would accept it.
Exactly.
So it is important that you keep an eye on those. Keep an eye on calories. I know in some parts of the world it's not a thing, right? So your calorie count, you know, how much calorie do you consume for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Maybe that might also give you an idea on how to sort of, you know, hold yourself accountable, right? If there's an area in terms of your dieting that you're struggling with, get an accountability partner and say, okay, I'm struggling with this area. I consume high carbs, or I consume whatever it is you consume that your body doesn't quite, you know, receive properly. Hold yourself accountable for your fitness. Prioritize your fitness. You know, it's okay for your body to be in good shape, because if your body is in good shape, people are going to enjoy you. And you're going to be here much longer, and you're going to be able to fulfill your goals and your dream in a better state of mind.
Yes, in that sense, I also want to add, you need to do medical checkup when necessary.
Yeah.
Don't take that for granted. You need to know your heart rate. You need to know pressure, your heart pressure, and all of the blood pressure, and all of those.
Your sugar level.
Whatever it is.
Yes.
Engage in checks. Is key. So we've talked about four F's, I would say, of your priority. Number one is your faith. The second one is friends and family. The third one is your finance. And the fourth one is your fitness. Maybe you can think about other priorities that are key for you to achieve your goals in 2023. You might put them down in the comment section. We would like to read from you what you think.
And it's amazing that you have joined us to this point. And I want to say, if you are joining us for the first time and you forgot to subscribe, now is the time to do this. Please kindly subscribe to our channel and reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you, what your thoughts are, and you know, your stories as well. It would be great to hear from you on what you're doing going forward in terms of 2023. I almost lost my thought there. Yes. And to all our returning subscribers, it's always a joy to have you. And I hope you found this video of value. Kindly like the video, share with people you think that might find this really helpful. And please, like my husband said, put a comment on the comment section below. We want you to watch this space. There's a lot coming in this new year. I wish you all the best, and we love you. Take care. Bye-bye.